Okay, but really, have you ever, like, scrolled through Instagram and just stopped dead in your tracks because of those crazy celebrity weight loss transformations?
Oh, yeah.
It's like 1 minute they're sporting the dad bod, and then suddenly, bam, they're like a Greek god or something. You can't help but wonder how they do it.
Right.
Like, is it some secret Hollywood thing that normal people can't, do?
Well, you listeners sent in this article called Celebrity Weight Loss Secrets, and I've got to say, even I was surprised by a few things.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So today, we're doing a deep dive and going way past the headlines to find out what these stars actually do to change their bodies.
I'm excited.
Me too.
So what did you find?
Well, the thing is, even though these celebs have access to, like, the top trainers and nutritionists, a lot of what they do is actually based on good old science.
Uh-huh.
And get this, it's totally doable for us regular folks.
I mean, that makes sense. At the end of the day, we're all just, human.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So no magic pills or crazy crash diets. Although that's kind of a bummer. Yeah.
But it's also kind of refreshing, right?
Yeah, I think so. Like,
Yep.
it means we can actually achieve those results too.
Totally. So the article kicks things off by breaking down what it calls the big three: calorie deficit, exercise, and of course, dietary changes.
The fundamentals.
Yeah, it sounds pretty simple on the surface, but I'm guessing it's more complicated than that.
Oh, for sure. It's not just about cutting calories and hitting the gym randomly.
Right.
It's about understanding how all of these things work together so you can change your lifestyle for good.
Like a chain reaction.
Yeah, exactly. For instance, tons of people think calorie deficit means you have to starve yourself, but it's really about making, better choices that'll work for you long term.
That makes a lot more sense. Okay, so let's take these big three and break them down, starting with exercise.
Right.
The article talks about a ton of different workouts that celebrities do, everything from intense cardio to like yoga and Pilates.
Really?
Yeah, even swimming.
Wow, they really do it all.
I know. So why so many different things? What's the secret?
I think the big thing here is that there isn't like a single workout that's perfect for everyone.
Yeah.
So celebrities, just like everyone else, they try to find something they enjoy doing and something that fits their lifestyle.
I gotcha.
And that variety helps them, keep doing it.
Consistency is key.
Exactly. And that's the most important thing if you want to see results.
So finding something you actually like doing is way more important than forcing yourself to, I don't know, do burpees every day.
Definitely.
Oh, that's such good news.
I know, right?
So the article specifically talks about Jennifer Aniston and Meghan Markle, both huge fans of Pilates.
Okay.
What's the deal with Pilates? Why does everyone in Hollywood seem to love it so much?
Well, think of it this way. Pilates is all about making your muscles stronger and longer, especially those deep core muscles,
Right.
which are super important for good posture and stability.
Oh, that makes sense.
Like, think of it as building this strong foundation for your body.
From the inside out.
Yeah, exactly. It's low impact, but really, really effective.
It's probably why it's so popular.
Yeah, for those who want that long and lean look.
So it's more than just getting six-pack abs. It's about making your whole body stronger.
Exactly.
Okay, I like that. The article also mentioned that Gisela Bündchen and Jessica Alba are big into yoga.
Oh yeah, yoga's great.
They say it helps with flexibility and muscle tone.
So yoga's amazing because it, combines physical poses with like breathing exercises,
Oh, right.
which can really help reduce stress.
And less stress is good for you.
Oh, absolutely. And when you're less stressed, your body's actually better at managing its weight.
I never thought about it that way.
It's all connected. Plus, yoga can make you more flexible, improve your balance, and even make you stronger, depending on what kind of yoga you do.
So many options.
I know, right?
Okay, so I'm starting to notice a pattern here.
What's that?
It's not about like punishing your body.
Right.
It's about finding ways to move that feel good and help you see results.
I like that.
Me too. Now, for people who love to break a sweat, the article talks about how circuit training is a favorite for action stars like Chris Hemsworth and Halle Berry.
Oh, wow. That's hardcore.
I know. So what makes circuit training so effective? Like, what's the deal with it?
Well, circuit training is like designed to be super efficient.
Okay.
You're basically going from one exercise to the next with almost no rest in between. And that keeps your heart rate up and you burn a ton of calories in a short amount of time.
So it's perfect for busy people.
Yeah, and it can be adjusted for different fitness levels.
And you can basically do it anywhere.
Exactly.
That's awesome. All this talk about exercise is making me hungry.
Same here.
So let's move on to the next one of the big three: diet. This is where things get really interesting.
For sure.
The article lists all these different diets celebrities use.
Like what?
Well, we're talking cutting carbs, intermittent fasting, plant-based diets, avoiding soda. The list goes on and on.
Right.
Where do we even begin with all that?
You're right, it's a lot. I think the important thing to remember is that just like with exercise, there isn't one perfect diet that works for everybody.
Right.
So what works for Hugh Jackman might not work for, you or me.
Makes sense.
It's about finding what you like, what fits your needs, and what you can actually stick to over time.
So ditch the fads and focus on sustainable change.
Exactly.
Got it. But some of these diets the article talks about sound pretty extreme, like intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
What's that all about? Is it just a fancy way of saying skip breakfast?
Well, it's a little more complicated than that. Intermittent fasting isn't about what you eat, but when you eat.
Huh, okay.
You're basically switching between periods of eating and, not eating on a regular schedule.
Interesting.
People say it helps them manage their weight and boosts their metabolism.
Really?
Yeah, but it's definitely not for everyone.
So proceed with caution.
Yeah, and maybe talk to your doctor before trying it.
Good advice. Now, the article also mentions a bunch of stars like Natalie Portman and Joaquin Phoenix going plant-based.
Right.
What's the deal with that? Is it just for ethical reasons?
While ethics are a big part of it for a lot of people, plant-based diets are getting more and more popular because they might actually be really good for you.
Okay.
There's a lot of research that shows a diet with lots of fruits and veggies, beans, and whole grains could, lower your risk of getting sick.
Interesting.
And it might even help with weight management.
So it's not just about tofu and kale smoothies.
No, not at all.
Huh.
Plant-based eating can be super diverse and delicious.
Good to know.
It's all about choosing whole, unprocessed foods and finding fun ways to eat them.
So we've covered exercise and diet. What about the mental side of things?
That's important too.
Yeah, the article mentions that a lot of celebrities focus on their overall wellness, not just losing weight.
I love that.
Me too, but what does that actually mean?
This is where things get really interesting, and I think we can learn a lot from these celebs. It's about realizing that being truly healthy is about way more than just what the scale says.
Right.
It's about dealing with stress, getting enough sleep, and having a positive outlook on life.
I like that.
It's a whole package deal.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, if you're super stressed and tired all the time, it's got to be way harder to stick to any kind of healthy routine.
Oh, absolutely. It's all connected. And celebrities, they're always busy, always in the spotlight.
Right.
So they have to be extra careful about taking care of their minds and their emotions.
They've learned that a healthy mind is just as important as a healthy body.
Totally.
This is making me rethink my whole approach to wellness.
I know, right?
It's inspiring.
It is.
Okay, so we've got these big three.
Calorie deficit, exercise, and diet.
Yep, but it's not about going to extremes. It's about finding a balance that works for you and makes you feel good inside and out.
I totally agree. And that's actually a perfect way to transition into some of the more specific things celebrities do to manage their diet.
Oh,
Because while the big three are important, it's the details that really make a difference.
gotcha.
You ready to dive deeper into these celebrity diets?
Definitely. I'm especially curious about some of those unique approaches the article talked about.
All right, let's do it. We'll start with a couple that have really captured people's attention. The Fast 800 and the dopamine diet. You've probably heard of them, but we're going to go beyond the hype and really break them down.
Ooh, I like it. Give me the details.
All right, so let's start with the Fast 800.
Okay.
As the name suggests. It involves, eating fewer calories for certain periods of time.
So like a modified version of intermittent fasting.
Yeah, exactly. You basically cut your calories way back for a few days every week.
Okay, so not a full-on fast, but definitely like scaling things back.
Right. And the goal is to create this rapid calorie deficit to, kickstart weight loss.
Makes sense.
But it's not just about deprivation.
Okay.
This diet emphasizes choosing nutrient-rich foods like the ones you find in the Mediterranean diet.
So lots of fruits, vegetables, lean protein, healthy fats.
Yeah, all that good
So
stuff.
it's like a two-pronged approach.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Calorie restriction plus a healthy way of eating.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Much more sustainable than just surviving on, lemon water and willpower.
That was definitely my first thought.
I get it.
Okay, so what about this dopamine diet? Does it really make you happier? Because if so, sign me up.
I mean, it's not quite as simple as just like taking a happy pill,
Oh,
but there's some really interesting science behind it.
okay. I'm listening.
So the dopamine diet focuses on foods that help your body produce more dopamine.
And dopamine is like the feel-good chemical in your brain.
Yeah, it's a neurotransmitter linked to pleasure and reward.
So food as a mood booster. Interesting.
Right. The diet focuses on foods that are high in tyrosine,
Okay.
which is an amino acid that basically helps your body make dopamine.
And what kinds of foods have tyrosine?
Things like lean meats, fish, eggs, nuts, and even dark chocolate.
Wait, did you say dark chocolate?
Blech.
Okay, now you're speaking my language. But seriously, can eating certain foods really boost your dopamine levels enough to actually change your mood?
That's where it gets tricky. While there's a connection between, tyrosine and dopamine, it's not quite that simple.
Oh.
Your genes and lifestyle also play a role.
Of course.
But
Sure.
including these dopamine-boosting foods as part of a balanced diet might, have a small positive effect on mood for some people.
So it's worth trying.
Yeah, especially if it involves dark chocolate.
Exactly. But probably not a miracle cure for the Monday blues.
Probably not.
Fair enough. So the article mentioned a few other diets too, like detoxing and the macrobiotic diet.
Oh, what interesting.
What are your thoughts on those?
Detox can be kind of a misleading word.
How so?
Our bodies already have these built-in systems for getting rid of toxins, mainly our liver and kidneys.
So you're saying we don't need special diets to detox?
Well, not necessarily. Some detox diets might help you cut back on, processed foods, alcohol, and sugar, which is a good thing. But they're often way too restrictive and not really backed by science.
Got it.
I always say, just focus on giving your body good food instead of trying to, cleanse it.
Makes sense to me. What about the macrobiotic diet?
It sounds kind of mystical or something.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, the macrobiotic diet is actually rooted in traditional Eastern philosophy,
Oh, wow.
and it focuses on things like whole grains, vegetables, and fermented foods.
Okay.
It's all about creating balance in your diet and eating foods that are, as close to their natural state as possible.
That's pretty healthy.
Yeah, for the most part.
So out of all these celebrity diets, which ones do you think are, the most realistic for us everyday people?
That's the million-dollar question. And this is where things get really interesting. If we kind of zoom out and look at the big picture, we can see that most of these celebrity diets share one major thing in common.
What's that?
They emphasize whole, unprocessed foods, lots of fruits and veggies, lean proteins, and mindful eating.
So it's not about following a bunch of strict rules?
No.
It's more about building healthy habits that you can stick with.
Exactly. And that's something we can all do, whether we have a personal chef or not.
I love that.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that kind of struck me as odd while I was reading this article is that it barely even mentions sleep.
Really?
Yeah. Don't celebrities sleep?
You'd be surprised. A lot of celebrities are known for being, super busy.
Right.
And that often means they don't get enough sleep.
I see.
But you're right, sleep is super important for our health and for managing weight, and yet we often forget about it.
Why is sleep so important for weight?
Well, when you don't get enough sleep, your body starts making more of this stress hormone called cortisol.
Mm-hmm.
And that can make you feel hungrier and crave, sugary, fatty foods.
Interesting.
Plus, not getting enough sleep can mess with your metabolism and make it harder to burn calories effectively.
Oh, wow. So skipping sleep is a double whammy.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're more likely to overeat and your body isn't burning calories like it should.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Getting enough sleep is like a secret weapon for weight management and just feeling good overall.
So I guess even celebrities are human after all.
They are.
But seriously, this just shows how important it is to think about health in a holistic way.
For sure.
It's not just about diet and exercise. It's about taking care of your mental and emotional health, getting enough rest, and managing stress.
Couldn't agree more.
Speaking of managing stress, let's be real for a second.
Right.
Most of us don't have personal trainers or private chefs or a whole team of people keeping us on track.
Right.
So how do we stay motivated and on track when those, late night cravings hit?
Yeah, or when we'd rather just, binge watch our favorite show than go to the gym.
Exactly.
That's the real challenge, isn't it?
And it is.
And it's something we all struggle with sometimes.
Even celebrities.
Even celebrities, yeah. They have all those resources, but they still have moments of weakness, just like us.
So what's the secret? How do they overcome those hurdles and stick to their goals?
Well, there's no magic formula or anything, but there are definitely some strategies that can help. Finding a workout buddy, setting realistic goals, and focusing on all the good things that come with a healthy lifestyle can really make a difference.
So it's about finding what works for you and having people who support you and keep you accountable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And celebrating all the small wins along the way. It's not about being perfect.
No,
It's about making progress and enjoying the journey.
I love that. It's about finding what makes you feel good and building healthy habits that actually feel, sustainable.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
And speaking of feeling good, the article touched on a few interesting strategies that celebrities use to make healthy living more, well, enjoyable.
Oh, like what?
Things like finding fun ways to, cook healthy meals.
Right.
Or adding fun activities to their workouts.
Okay.
And really focusing on all the mental and emotional benefits of having a healthy lifestyle.
So it's not about depriving yourself and punishing yourself. It's about making healthy choices that you actually look forward to.
Exactly. And that's such a powerful shift in perspective.
I agree.
When you start to think of healthy living as something fun and enjoyable, not a chore, it becomes so much easier to keep doing it.
Okay, so we've talked about the big three, all these different diets, how important sleep is, and staying motivated. But there's one thing we haven't really gotten into:
What's that?
macros. The article didn't really talk about the specifics of protein, carbs, and fats.
Right.
Is that something celebrities even think about?
You might be surprised. Macro tracking, which is basically paying attention to how much protein, carbs, and fats you eat.
Right.
It's becoming super popular, even among celebrities.
Why is that?
Well, it lets you create a really personalized nutrition plan.
I see.
By adjusting your macro intake based on your individual needs and goals, you can really fine-tune things like your body composition, your energy levels, even your athletic performance, if that's something you're focused on.
So it's not just about counting calories, it's about making sure you're getting the right amounts of each nutrient to hit your specific goals.
You got it.
Wow, it's amazing how much more there is to learn about nutrition. Maybe we need a whole separate deep dive just on macros.
We could definitely do that.
Something to think about.
For sure. But for now, let's shift gears a little and talk about something that often gets overlooked when it comes to these big celebrity transformations.
Oh, okay. What's that?
The role of genetics.
Oh, interesting.
So are you saying that some people are just born to be lean and toned while others have to work twice as hard?
Well, genetics definitely play a part in things like your body type, your metabolism, and even how your body responds to exercise and diet.
Yeah.
But it's important to remember that genes aren't everything.
So our DNA isn't our destiny.
Exactly. While genetics might give some people a bit of an edge, the choices we make every day have a much bigger impact on our health and well-being.
That's good to know. I think so too.
Mm.
It's empowering to know that we have a lot of control over our health outcomes.
It is. Okay, so I gotta ask this.
What's that?
Do celebrities ever cheat? Do they ever indulge in pizza and ice cream, or are they just superhuman when it comes to willpower?
Oh, they definitely cheat. Celebrities are human just like everyone else.
Right.
They get cravings, they enjoy treats, and they indulge every now and then.
So it's not about being perfect 100% of the time.
No, not at all. It's about finding a balance that lets you enjoy those things without, completely ruining your progress.
So how do they do that?
Well, that's where mindfulness comes in. It's about making conscious choices, savoring those treats in moderation.
Right.
And not turning them into these big guilt trips or, binges.
That makes sense.
It's all about finding that sweet spot where you can enjoy your favorite foods without feeling restricted or deprived.
Okay, we've covered so much ground today.
And we have.
From the big three and specific diets to the importance of sleep, macros, genetics, even those cheat meals we just talked about.
It's been a lot.
But I think one of the biggest takeaways from this deep dive is that celebrities aren't actually superhuman.
Yeah.
They just understand the science behind health and wellness, and they apply it consistently to their lives in a way that, works for them.
I agree. And that's something we can all learn from.
Absolutely. It's not about trying to be a celebrity. It's about taking control of our health and figuring out what works best for us.
I like that.
Me too. So no magic pills or secret shortcuts.
Nope.
Just good old-fashioned effort, consistency, and a little bit of self-awareness.
Well said. And I think that's a perfect way to transition into one final aspect of celebrity transformations that we haven't really discussed.
Oh, okay. What's
The
that?
power of mindset.
Mindset.
Yeah, like how your thoughts and beliefs influence your actions.
Okay, what role does mindset play in all of this?
A huge one. You see, celebrities often have a very clear vision of what they want to achieve. They set goals, they visualize themselves succeeding, and they surround themselves with supportive people.
So it's more than just changing your body. It's about cultivating a really positive and determined mindset.
Exactly. And that's something we can all do, no matter what our goals are. When you believe in yourself and your ability to succeed, it becomes so much easier to overcome challenges and stay motivated.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, before we wrap up this deep dive, I have one last question for you.
Okay, shoot.
If you could give our listeners just one piece of advice inspired by these celebrity weight loss secrets, what would it be?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think the most important thing to remember is that true wellness is a journey that involves your whole self.
Okay.
It's not just about the number on the scale. It's about nourishing your body with healthy food, finding joy in movement, managing stress, getting enough sleep, and like we just talked about, cultivating a positive mindset.
I love that. It's about creating a lifestyle that supports your well-being, not chasing after some unrealistic idea of perfection.
Exactly. And remember, progress over perfection is key. Celebrate the small wins. See challenges as opportunities to learn and grow, and be patient with yourself along the way.
That's such great advice. So no matter what your health and wellness goals are, take inspiration from what these celebrities are doing, but make it your own.
Yeah, find what works for you.
Exactly. Remember, the most important thing is to find what makes you feel good and build healthy habits that you can actually stick with for the long haul.
Absolutely. And never underestimate the power of consistency, mindful choices, and a whole lot of self-love.
Well said. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into the world of celebrity weight loss secrets.
It was my pleasure.
Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.
And stay well.
You too. Okay, so the Fast 800 and the dopamine diet, those names sound kind of like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Right.
But the article makes them sound almost, well, doable.
Yeah, let's break them down a bit.
Okay.
So the Fast 800, like the name kind of gives away, it involves, restricting how many calories you eat for certain periods.
Like a modified intermittent fasting thing?
Yeah, you could say that. It's basically where you, seriously cut your calories for a while, often a few days a week.
So not a total fast, but definitely like cutting back.
Exactly. The idea is to create a calorie deficit, really fast, which can help kickstart weight loss.
Okay, I'm following you.
But it's not just about, depriving yourself.
Okay, good.
The Fast 800 is also about eating nutrient-rich foods, the kinds of things you'd find in the Mediterranean diet.
Oh, okay.
Lots of fruits, veggies, lean protein, healthy fats.
That actually sounds pretty good.
Right, so it's kind of two-pronged approach.
Yeah, calorie restriction, but with a healthy eating plan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Way more sustainable than just, trying to survive on lemon water and willpower.
Yeah, no thanks.
Exactly. Okay, so what about this dopamine diet?
Does it really make you, happier? Because if it does, sign me up.
Well, it's not exactly like, popping a happiness pill or anything.
Oh, bummer.
But the science behind it is super interesting.
Okay, tell me more.
So the dopamine diet is all about eating foods that help your body make more dopamine.
Dopamine, that's that feel-good chemical in your brain, right?
Yeah, it's a neurotransmitter that's linked to pleasure and reward.
So food is a mood booster.
Basically, this diet focuses on foods that are packed with tyrosine,
Okay.
which is an amino acid that's a precursor to dopamine, meaning it helps your body actually produce it.
Okay, so what kinds of foods have tyrosine?
Lean meats, fish, eggs, nuts, even dark chocolate.
Wait, dark chocolate? Now you're talking. But really, though, can what you eat actually change your mood that much? Does eating these foods really boost your dopamine levels enough to, make a difference?
It's not quite a one-to-one thing, unfortunately. There's definitely a connection between tyrosine and how much dopamine your body makes, but other things play a role too.
Like what?
Your genes, your lifestyle, all that stuff.
Okay, makes sense.
But some people find that adding these dopamine-boosting foods to a balanced diet can, gently lift their mood.
I guess it's worth a shot.
Right. Especially since it means eating dark chocolate.
Exactly. Although, probably not going to cure my Monday blues.
Probably not, no.
So the article talked about a couple of other diets too, like detoxing and the macrobiotic diet. What are your thoughts on those?
Detox is a tricky word.
How so?
I mean, our bodies are already amazing at getting rid of toxins on their own.
Right.
We have our liver and kidneys for that.
So those juice cleanses and stuff, are they really all they're cracked up to be?
Not always. Some detox diets might encourage you to, cut back on processed foods, alcohol, and added sugars, which is good.
Of course.
But a lot of times they're super restrictive and not really based on, solid science.
So just eat healthy in general.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Focus on nourishing your body with good stuff instead of trying to, cleanse it.
Okay, that makes sense. So what about the macrobiotic diet? It sounds a little, I don't know, mystical.
It is kind of rooted in Eastern philosophy.
Oh, wow.
It's about eating whole grains, vegetables, fermented foods, things like that.
Yeah.
The whole idea is to create balance in your diet and eat foods that are, as close to their natural state as possible.
So lots of whole foods, minimal processing.
Yeah, pretty much. It can be a really healthy way to eat.
Sounds good to me.
So, out of all these different celebrity diets the article talks about, which ones do you think are the most, realistic for, us regular folks?
That's the question, isn't it?
It is. And here's where things get really interesting. When you zoom out and look at the big picture, most of these diets actually have something in common.
What's that?
They all focus on whole, unprocessed foods, lots of fruits and veggies, lean protein, and being mindful about what you eat.
So it's less about following strict rules and more about just building good habits overall.
You got it. And that's something anyone can do, regardless of whether you have a personal chef or not.
I love that. Okay, here's something that I thought was kind of weird.
What's that?
The article barely mentions sleep at all.
Oh, you're right.
Do celebrities even sleep?
You'd be surprised. Celebrities are notorious for their crazy schedules,
Right, always on the go.
which often means sacrificing sleep.
Makes sense, but why is sleep so important when we're talking about weight?
Well, when you don't get enough sleep, your body produces more cortisol, which is a stress hormone.
Okay.
And that can make you, feel hungrier and crave those sugary, fatty foods.
Oh, no.
And to make matters worse, a lack of sleep can mess with your metabolism and make it harder to burn calories effectively.
Oh, so skimping on sleep is like a double whammy.
Yeah, it is.
You're more likely to overeat and your body's not burning calories like it should.
Exactly. Getting enough sleep is, crucial for managing your weight and just feeling good overall.
I guess celebrities really are human after all.
They are.
This just proves how important it is to think about health holistically.
I agree.
It's not just about diet and exercise, it's also about your mental and emotional well-being, getting enough rest, and managing stress.
Absolutely. It's all connected.
So let's be real, most of us don't have personal trainers, private chefs, or a whole team of people helping us stay on track.
True.
So how are we supposed to stay motivated when those, late night cravings hit?
Or when we just want to, binge watch our favorite show instead of hitting the gym.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the real struggle, isn't it?
It is. We all face it.
Yeah, even celebrities with all their resources struggle with this stuff.
So what's their secret? How do they overcome those moments of weakness and stick to their goals?
Well, there's no magic formula or anything,
Oh, okay.
but there are some things that can help, like finding a workout buddy, setting realistic goals,
Okay.
and focusing on all the amazing benefits that come with a healthy lifestyle.
I like that.
And, don't forget to celebrate those small victories along the way. It's not about being perfect, it's about progress.
And enjoying the journey.
Exactly.
It's about finding what makes you feel good and building healthy habits that actually feel, sustainable.
I love that. And speaking of feeling good, the article mentions some interesting things that celebrities do to make healthy living more, enjoyable.
Oh, like what?
Things like finding creative ways to cook healthy meals,
Okay.
adding fun activities to their workouts,
Right?
and really focusing on the mental and emotional benefits that come with a healthy lifestyle.
So it's not about deprivation and punishment.
No, not at all.
It's about making healthy choices that you actually look forward to.
Exactly. And that shift in perspective can make a huge difference.
I bet.
When you start seeing healthy living as something fun and enjoyable instead of a chore, it's so much easier to stick with it.
So true. Okay, we've talked about the big three, all sorts of diets, the importance of sleep, and staying motivated, but there's one thing we haven't really touched on:
What's that?
macros. The article didn't really go into specifics about protein, carbs, and fat.
Yeah.
Do celebrities even pay attention to that stuff?
You might be surprised. Macro tracking, which is basically focusing on how much protein, carbs, and fat you're eating, is becoming really popular.
Even with celebrities.
Even with celebrities.
Yeah.
It's all about creating a super personalized nutrition plan.
Oh, okay.
By adjusting your macro intake, you can really fine-tune things like how your body composition changes, your energy levels, even your athletic performance if that's a goal.
So it's not just about calories.
No.
It's about making sure you're getting the right balance of nutrients.
You got it.
Wow, it's amazing how much more there is to learn about nutrition.
I know, right? It's a fascinating field.
Maybe we need a whole separate deep dive just on macros.
That's a great idea.
Something to think about.
For sure. For now, let's shift gears a little bit and talk about something that's often overlooked when we're, talking about these amazing celebrity transformations.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What's that?
The role of genetics.
Oh, interesting.
So are you saying that some people are like genetically predisposed to be lean and toned, while others have to work twice as hard?
Well, genetics do play a part in things like our body type, our metabolism, even how our bodies respond to exercise and diet.
Okay.
But the key takeaway here is that our genes are not our destiny.
So we're not doomed by our DNA.
Exactly. While we might inherit certain predispositions, it's really our lifestyle choices, what we eat, how much we move, how we manage stress, that have the biggest impact on our health and, what our bodies look like.
That's a relief.
I think so too. It's empowering to know that we have a lot of control over our health outcomes.
Okay, I have to ask this.
Yeah.
Do celebrities ever, cheat?
Cheat.
Yeah, indulge in a slice of pizza or a bowl of ice cream, or are they just superhuman when it comes to willpower?
Oh, they definitely cheat.
Really?
Celebrities are human, just like us. They have cravings, they enjoy treats.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
And they indulge every now and then. It's not about being perfect all the time.
So it's about balance. Yeah, it's about finding a balance that allows you to enjoy those things without, completely derailing your progress.
How do they do that? How do they find that balance?
Well, that's where mindfulness comes in.
Okay.
It's about being aware of the choices you're making, savoring those treats in moderation.
Right.
And not turning them into these big guilt trips or binges.
So it's about finding that sweet spot where you can still enjoy your favorite foods without feeling, restricted or deprived.
Exactly. That's a much more sustainable approach than constantly battling cravings and feeling bad about yourself.
That makes a lot of sense.
So we've covered a ton of ground today.
We have.
We've talked about the big three, all sorts of diets, sleep, macros, genetics, even cheat meals.
I'm exhausted just thinking about it.
Me too.
Yeah.
But I think one of the biggest takeaways from this whole conversation is that celebrities aren't superhuman.
No.
They just understand the science behind health and wellness, and they apply it to their lives consistently in a way that, works for them.
It's inspiring. It's not about trying to be a celebrity. It's about taking charge of our own health and figuring out what works best for us.
I like that. So no magic pills or secret shortcuts.
Nope.
Just good old-fashioned effort, consistency, and a little self-awareness.
Well said. And I think that's a perfect transition into one final aspect of celebrity transformations that we haven't really discussed yet.
Oh, really? What's that?
The power of mindset.
So before we wrap up, I wanted to circle back to something we talked about earlier about genetics and how much they play a role in all of this. I mean, it seems like some celebrities are just born with these amazing metabolisms and those good genes we always hear about. Do genetics really matter that much when it comes to how our bodies react to diet and exercise?
It's a great question, and honestly, it comes up all the time. The truth is, genetics do play a part in things like our body type, how fast our metabolism works, even how well our bodies build muscle or burn fat. But here's the thing, and this is important. Our genes are not our destiny.
So you're saying we're not all stuck with being a certain size or shape just because of our DNA? Exactly. While we might inherit certain tendencies, it's our lifestyle choices, what we eat, how much we move, how we deal with stress, that have a way bigger impact on our health and how our bodies look.
Okay, phew, that's a relief to hear. So even if we didn't win the genetic lottery, we can still reach our goals if we're consistent and build healthy habits.
Absolutely. It's super empowering to know that we have a good deal of control over our health.
Speaking of control, one thing I always find fascinating is the mental aspect of managing your weight. We've talked about the physical stuff, diet, exercise, getting enough sleep. But what about the mental and emotional side? How do celebrities stay motivated, deal with those cravings we all get, and just stay committed to their goals, especially when they're surrounded by temptation all the time?
That's where mindset comes in, and it's a huge piece of the puzzle that often gets overlooked. Look, celebrities, just like the rest of us, they face moments of doubt, temptation, and those days when they just don't feel motivated. The difference might be in their ability to build a really strong, positive mindset and learn how to get past those hurdles.
So it's more than just willpower.
Willpower alone can only take you so far. You can only resist temptation for so long before you get burnt out. Celebrities, often with help from coaches and support systems, learn how to tap into something much stronger, what we call intrinsic motivation. They really connect with their why, their deep personal reasons for wanting to achieve their goals.
So when you have a clear sense of purpose and you believe in yourself, it makes it easier to stay focused and keep going even when things get tough.
You got it. And it's also about shifting how you see things. Instead of thinking of healthy habits as chores or something you have to do, they see them as ways to take care of themselves and, feel empowered.
So it's like finding that sweet spot where you're motivated, excited, and actually enjoying the process.
Exactly. It's about making those healthy choices because you want to, not because you have to, because they make you feel good, both physically and mentally.
This has been such an eye-opening conversation. I think it highlights that real lasting change comes from a combination of things. Understanding the science, finding what clicks for you, building healthy habits, and having a supportive mindset.
I couldn't agree more. It's about approaching well-being in a holistic way, recognizing that it's an ongoing journey, not a finish line.
And it's about celebrating how far you've come, welcoming challenges as chances to grow, and always being kind to yourself along the way.
Beautifully said.
Well, a huge thank you to you for sharing all your incredible insights and helping us really dive deep into this fascinating topic. And to you, our amazing listeners, remember, no matter where you are on your wellness journey, you have the power to make positive changes and create a healthier, happier life for yourself.
Keep exploring, stay curious, and never stop learning.
Until next time, stay well, everyone.